Oh yes, when I hit 4,000 subscribers, which by the way was like 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I'm almost at 5,000. This is fast. It's true what they say. Once your channel starts to find momentum, like it just, it just goes really, really fast. Hello, it says I've got 3 people here. Feel free to say hello in the chat. But when I hit that 4,000 mark, I put a little explanatory note with my thank you. I always thank people. I like to live in gratitude and appreciation for the people who do take the time to hit that subscribe button and actually consume my content. Thank you so much. It means more to YouTube creators than you may even know. I guess you'll find out tonight what it could mean. In that thank you post, I jokingly, not jokingly said that YouTube is my retirement plan. Let me explain. I have been, hi, Michael. I have been in the film industry since I was 19 years old. I'm 55 now. So that's a long time. Okay. And about 6 years ago, it kind of hit me. It kind of hit me that we do not have a pension up in Canada. And I say up in Canada because my IATSE kin in the United States do get a pension, and they have their 401k, which is the equivalent of our RRSP here in Canada. So they have a pension and a additional retirement savings. I got some retirement savings. I don't think it's going to get me through a whole lot of years. Hi, Annalie. Oh, wow. Oh, amazing. Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that I inspire you. I've actually been talking about this stuff since 2020 when I figured this all out. So 6 years ago, it kind of hit me that, oh my God, we don't have a retirement plan. I got to think of an alternate, just something alternate. I mean, right now, I still, I did announce my retirement from film in 2022, but IATSE said you technically can't retire till you're 65. And I said, what? And I think that's because we're under the same sort of laws as the international chapters who do have pensions. So it kind of makes like not much sense for us in Canada who don't have pensions, but I'm technically not allowed to retire till I'm 65. So I still sort of do a movie or two a year. I'm in semi-retirement, and YouTube is already, I estimate 85% responsible for my pay. And I'll explain how, because I know when people think of YouTube specifically monetizing, giving you a check every month, they think about the AdSense program. That's when YouTube kind of pays you to run ads on your channel. Now, YouTube runs ads on my channel, but I'm not monetized that way. Although it is one of the things I'm working on, because why not? Because I've got the energy to do it now. The energy you put in up front for any kind of passive income that you want down the line, nothing is like 100% passive. You do have to put in some work up front. And the thing that I've come to learn, I'm going to go in and out of order, I know it. The thing that I've come to realize about YouTube is that every single video becomes an asset in your business, and it grows in value with time. And I'll explain that more later. I just want to sort of set the scenario here. As we all did, I had to figure out how to sustain myself in Toronto with very high rent and no work during lockdown. Hi, Anna. I had to figure that out in a hurry, as a whole bunch of us did. And you may have even attended, I did a webinar, I did like a 90-minute talk in August of 2020, a few months after I'd figured out how to monetize Facebook. But I did the webinar on YouTube, and I'm glad I did. It's still on here, by the way. If you look in my videos in the entrepreneurship playlist, I think it's called How I Earn 10K a Month Working 12 Hours a Week at Home. And that's a true story. That is about what it takes. So compare that to, we have a lot of film people attending this live. Compare that to our lifestyle on set, right? Other things also happen to your body when you turn 50. I'm 55 now. So I've had all kinds of things happen to me where it's like, oh, I just don't have the same stamina, the same, I just am not 20 anymore. And the 70-hour work weeks literally start to kill us slowly and quickly. There's another video on my YouTube channel in the script supervision playlist where it's called In Praise of the 8 to 10 Hour shoot day. And that's because sometimes, me being European, very lucky to also be European, I get to work in Europe sometimes on film sets, and our work days are 8 to 10 hours. I was very lucky to do a movie at Cinecittà in Rome this year, and our work days were 6 to 10 hours. And I made a lot more money than I do in Toronto. That is a true story. And so, yeah, right now I can be very selective until I am able to work on shows like that. I can wait for those really choice shows that treat you well. I can say no to a lot of stuff because I have options now. And I feel like I said to Michael today, there's gold in them there hills. There is so much money to be made on social media. I didn't learn this obviously until lockdown, until I had to learn it. And then I learned it very quickly. And I went, oh, this is like the easiest thing I've ever done. It's, I grew up with that money mindset where your parents, I'm Italian, so my parents would be like, you have to work so hard for the money. And it's like they don't trust money that comes easy, and all of that. But now, if I hadn't have done that, I don't actually know where I'd be now. And certainly not in my condo, that I rent, but in my lovely apartment in downtown Toronto. I don't know where I'd be if I hadn't forced myself to figure this out in 2020. It's no longer 2020. It's funny. I heard the naysayers all throughout this process. Whenever, you guys know this because you know me, whenever I learn something, the first thing I want to do is teach it to people. When I or create a community around it. So when I started doing stand-up, I created an all-female room, or all-female and one token boy stand-up room, so we'd have stage time so we could learn our craft. When I learned how to do script supervision to effect, I started to teach as many people as I could, because it was a sustainable living for people, like, for people who didn't have a traditional pathway into the film industry at the time. Now more people have access to the film industry, which is great. But I think honestly, it is a job for people with the stamina and the, I just don't have the stamina anymore. So I'm so glad that I was able to transition my life to be a mix now of working on a movie when I want to, and when it's a great, opportunity and an adventure, because I like adventures. That's the thing. I've been able to have so many adventures, like on a travel level, since I started to do this. That has probably been my favorite thing about social media. It gave me the opportunity to not only meet people around the world online, but then go and fly in a plane and meet them in person. That has been like a total joy. I'm just looking at my notes because I've had a lot going on today, so I don't want to like skip anything. So yes, you've seen me, you've literally watched, the whole history is right there on my YouTube channel, also on my Facebook channel. I didn't get to Instagram until, I didn't really focus on my Instagram channel till about 1.5 years ago. I somehow have 12,000 followers there. I don't know how I did that, because I wasn't very conscious about it. The way that I've been conscious about growing my YouTube channel, I didn't get, okay. I'm going to tell you about a little course that I'm teaching next week called Social Media Monetization Masterclass. Once again, when I figure something out, I mean, I started teaching people this stuff in a different program called Coffee Break MBA 5 months into 20. So in August 2020, when I did that talk that you can find on my channel, that was 5 months after I started. It was my 5th month of a consistent $10,000 a month income. Now, those in film know our wages in film are much higher than that, but we also work a lot more hours than that. So I was so happy with the trade-off of a lower, pretty steady monthly guarantee in a way. Like I'm not like the only one. I know that if you search, how to make 10K a month on YouTube, you'll come up with hundreds, probably thousands of videos. And you've probably seen those ads pop up, like people run ads and they're regular people like me. I'm a normal, normal. I mean, I'm not normal. Let's scratch that. But, like an average person, right? You'll see families, you'll see really old people, really young people. Like there's no age, you don't even have to ever be on camera, depending on what way you choose. Because listen, there's not one way to make money online. There's like 7 to 10 really reliable ways. And a lot of people that you'll see online talk about that 10K mark because it's an easy mark to hit. When I started doing this, I had 250 followers. I had 0 on my YouTube channel, but I had a mailing list of my film friends of 250 people and my comedy friends who, of course, Anna knows we were all broke. Comedy friends were broke in 2020 because we could not perform. Film people, probably had some savings because of the amount of money we make on set, but some of them were broke. Like they weren't about to go out and spend money, but people did, and they found people like me online because that was our means of communication. And so the naysayers at that time, a whole bunch of people did join me in Coffee Break at that time, and my goal was to train them all on how to do what I did. Again, Coffee Break is such a good sort of social. It's like a group of 50 people that you just want to hang out with all the time. People just really started to hang out, and only a few people did the thing of, oh no, I'm actually going to start the business. So I am going to revamp Coffee Break to make it more action oriented. So not forcing people to do the work, but actually like leading them sort of by the hand more, because all the information was there. But again, I can tell you about this, but whether or not you're going to do it, that's up to you. So I did that through Coffee Break. And then, like I said, when I learned something, I have to teach it right away. So Coffee Break was and is like, it's got everything. You know how I said there's 7 to 10 reliable ways to make money online. All those ways, all of them are discussed in my Coffee Break MBA program. 3 months ago, for the very first time, I taught a social media monetization masterclass because I stopped to, as I do, I'm very analytical, stopped to figure out what the source of my income was. And like I said, 85% through YouTube. Yes. So at the beginning, when I started my business, it was Facebook. You would have probably remembered, you may have even taken some of my online challenges, free and low cost writing challenges that if people got results, they would come and join me in my writing programs. They would pay me to learn, to teach them how to write, and they would write. And some of them, so I had people even sell scripts. I won awards because I got to have time to actually practice my craft and write, which, by the way, was my goal in starting Coffee Break. I wanted to help artists figure out a way to work less so that they could create more. I mean, our creativity is our work. It's not like retirement means I'm going to stop. Retirement means I'm going to write more. Retirement means I'm probably going to go back to doing stand-up and acting, which I haven't done in about 20 years. Still a member of the Actors Union, and still have taken acting classes all this time. I've never stopped acting, but I stopped acting professionally. My retirement is going to be fun, like my full-on retirement. It's already fun. You can tell by my Instagram feed. How many trips did I take since lockdown was over? There was 1 year that I took 10 trips. So I'm guessing I've taken at least 18 trips since lockdown was over. And I'm going to keep going because the other thing about this is that you can work from anywhere. And I do. And now I do, you guys probably know, the people who are here actually know me, and you know that I teach courses, online courses. I'm going to say, if you're going to pick one of the 7 to 10 things to focus on, online courses. People will argue the other way. They'll say, well, affiliate marketing. People will argue for affiliate marketing because there's even less work involved. Yeah, with affiliate marketing, it's when you're promoting other people's companies. So you don't have to start a company. I have affiliates who promote my company, right? I pay them commission to sell my courses. I promote other people's courses. I am an affiliate marketer. That's the thing. You can do more than one thing if you want to at a time with social media. You will have seen videos on my channel where I'm interviewing David H. Lawrence the 17th about his voice work program. If you're going to focus on something like affiliate marketing as your way to make a living, because you don't want to be on camera, I'm still on camera when I affiliate market because I'm a camera whore. Let's face it. No, because I'm an actor and I love it, right? I love being on camera. It kind of feeds me. Having this channel actually kind of feeds my acting soul a little bit in its own way. So I have nothing against being on camera, but I had a number of coffee breakers. That was their big objection. It's like, I don't want to be on camera. The first person who ever taught me how to create a digital program was Amy Porterfield. And if you know Amy's story, she made her first $4 million before she ever got on camera. So you don't have to get on camera. She's always on camera now. She wasn't comfortable on camera, and it took her a long time. So you never have to, whatever you do, like however you choose to make money online. And some of it doesn't even involve social media. Today, I'm specifically talking about YouTube because this platform is a gold mine. This platform is more reliable than anything else. I just saw Gary Vee, you know, the influencer Gary Vee, do a speech to a bunch of, I think they were Google engineers, in fact, and about how Google is going to be over in 7 months because more people are using ChatGPT to look up information than they are Google. Even the Google engineers, he made them stand up and say, which of you go to ChatGPT first? And about half of them stood up. So, you know, we know that platforms come and go. You don't want to like put all your eggs in one basket. And listen, I jumped ship from Facebook. I still use Facebook, but not like I used to. I jumped from Facebook to YouTube. Remember, we're old enough to remember MySpace. I used to put a lot of time into MySpace. I used to put a lot of, well, I never used ICQ, but I know people who used ICQ. We know that platforms come and go. So I'm not saying you have to bank on getting a monetized channel. And I'll talk about what a monetized channel is on YouTube, because that's what people think of, because that is truly passive income. It's YouTube sending you money every single month for running ads on your channel. Truly passive income. I'm talking about using YouTube as an engine for your business, whether you're doing affiliate marketing, whether you're promoting anything. Are you promoting a show? Are you promoting your stand-up? Oh my God, my favorite comic right now is Josh Johnson. He's built his empire on YouTube. He'll go and perform live every night. Oh, Michael says Blogspot devotee. Oh yeah, I didn't even hit the blogging. You know, people still make a lot of money on their blogs, right? There's so many ways. Yeah, you can like self-publish books. That the way that you make money in self-publishing books, by the way, besides selling the books, is actually linking them to courses or getting work as a speaker. Because the other thing about social media is it builds your authority, right? So even my mom says, go and talk on YouTube. Like she'll always say, like, just go and talk about anything on YouTube, because she knows every time I do that, I make sales. You have to be consistent, like meaning you've seen me live. I'm trying to go live once a week on different topics, right? So you've seen that play out. You guys have seen me go live on various platforms. ICQ, you did use ICQ to, oh my God. You've seen me do that for years, not just weeks, right? Like people know Daniela's going to be talking about something at some point. What's Daniela got going on? I like to think that that's why you know what? I think I got most of those 12,000 Instagram followers when I was going live on Instagram 1 to 2 times a week, which is a true story. I totally did that. I just found that Instagram doesn't translate to sales the way YouTube does. And there's a very easy and clear reason for that, okay? The Instagram algorithm only shows your work to your work. I call it your work. My work is making silly reels on Instagram and better reels on YouTube. Literally, that's my joy. That's what I consider my job. Once I even said that at the airport, they're like, occupation. I said, I'm a YouTuber. They didn't even question it. They're like, okay, go ahead. Yeah, true story. But I am a YouTuber. It's so funny. Like my first thought when I go anywhere is, oh, I got to make a YouTube video. And that is the fun part of this. But anyway, on the Instagram platform, they will only show your content to 11% of your followers. Otherwise, you have to pay to boost your reel to get it in front of them and to get it in front of non-followers. It's not the same as other platforms. And on YouTube, this is a search engine. So if someone today or in the past few days, since my post has been up where I said I'm going live to talk about how YouTube is my retirement plan, if someone searched that up, how do I make YouTube my retirement plan? Or if they said, how do I make money on YouTube? They might find this talk. They might even be here, except I think I know everyone who's here, which is okay. People will find it eventually, right? This is a search engine, and it's a search engine of people who are looking for answers to pressing problems. raise your hand if that's you. Like anything happens. I was in Italy. My mom fell and she couldn't get up and I couldn't lift her up. And I said, wait, mom. And I went to YouTube and I typed in how to stand up if you've fallen and you can't get up. Spoiler alert, we couldn't get her up. I had to call the ambulance, but we tried all the ways on YouTube. My first thought was that because she didn't want me to call. Calling the hospital was my first thought, granted, but she didn't want me to. So I was like, okay, quick to the YouTube, right? And what do business owners do? We solve problems. We solve specific problems in specific niches, right? And I'm a weirdo because obviously this channel has like 4 niches. Everyone who's ever taught me has said one niche, just one channel, one niche. I can't do that. And that's okay. You got to be who you are, right? And I'm nothing if not a multi-potentialite. I've always been that and I will continue to be that. And luckily, that's also who I attract. I attract other comedians who write. I attract other actors who produce. I attract, just people who can't just do one thing, which is great with me because that's my people, right? However you put yourself out, if you put yourself out authentically in whatever social media you're on, it doesn't have to be YouTube. YouTube happens to be fantastic. LinkedIn is pretty good. I don't really have corporate clients as much, but LinkedIn sometimes still brings me business. But if you are someone who serves corporate clients, you got to be on LinkedIn, right? Things keep changing, I don't know if people monetized X, but obviously now there's Blue Sky. And Blue Sky may never be monetized. Like I used to use Twitter to practice writing jokes in 44 characters or less. That's how I used Twitter until the evil overlord took it over. And then I jumped. But like now we can use Blue Sky that way. If I remember how to write jokes. No, it's been a while. So where was I? I was telling you guys that YouTube is a gold mine, essentially. So 3 months ago, getting intentional about this channel. Annalise says, creatives are always doing and talented at more than one thing. I'm one of them. Happy to honor that. Yeah, I agree. It's true. And creatives have a real superpower in business because you got to adapt so much. Like you got to adapt with new platforms. You got to adapt even with new like frame sizes. You got to adapt. Like there's so many ways that things come at you and you're like, okay, this is how I'm going to like survive it. And what do we do as artists like all our life? We're literally figuring out how to survive without, selling our souls. Okay. So Tallulah said people definitely used X to drive folks to their stuff elsewhere. Yeah, I never personally monetized X, but you can monetize anything. People monetize the heck out of Pinterest. I actually want to explore that because I like the visuals of Pinterest, and it is a search engine. It's a visual search engine. It's a topic search engine, much more so than Instagram is, which makes it a lot more monetizable. And it sounds like I'm money hungry when I'm like monetizable, but it's not. It's not about that. Obviously, if it was about that, you'd see me like pitching like snake oil on here. No. I talk about the things that I love. Even when I'm affiliate marketing for other people's courses, it's because I love their courses. I believe in what they're doing. I honestly believe if you don't believe in what you're doing, you'll never be able to sell it. And that includes like whatever you're doing with your channel about yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. If you have a product or you're, for some of you, it's going to be like, I was starting to say about Josh, that comic. I stumbled upon him on YouTube. He's been around for like he writes for, is it the Daily Show that he writes for? He just started taping his live sets and posting them on YouTube. He's like at over 1 million followers. He might be way more. When I discovered him, he was over 1 million followers. And I was like, this guy is good. People barely go to clubs anymore. I hope that changes. But of course, people discovered him on YouTube. And now at the clubs, I can see the clubs he performs at. He's doing bigger rooms and they seem to be well attended too. So yeah, that was my point about he established himself as an authority in stand-up like relatively quickly through his YouTube channel. So smart. And I'm imagining that's how he got his job writing for late night. Yes. Sorry, I'm reading your comments and getting distracted by them. So when you establish an authority, and the two fastest ways to establish authority are to write a book or to establish yourself on social media. I would not stop talking about script supervision on my channel. I've got the highest subscribed channel about scripts. There are people with higher subscriptions who talk about script supervision, but it's a filmmaking channel in general. For us, for a channel that is so specifically, like it's one of my 3 or 4 topics as opposed to filmmaking in general, I've got more subscribers. I'm about to hit 5,000 tomorrow. It will be in terms of the people who teach script supervision and sell courses, I'm thousands and thousands of people. I have thousands and thousands of people more than them. And a lot of the people who buy my courses don't even subscribe. They just find me on YouTube, and then they go into my funnel. We call it a funnel. I hate that word, but like they go through the journey that I take them on, from the video on my YouTube channel to a landing page to my sales page to maybe a private call with me. They go through that to find me, and they may or may not ever come back to my channel again unless they need to look something up. We were talking about in my class, in my script supervision program, which in that class alone, I have over 500 students in 28 countries, mostly powered by YouTube. Most of my writers find me on YouTube, unless they see me at a live event here in Toronto. I work at the Female Eye Film Festival some years as a story editor, and sometimes a lot of writers tend to find me that way too. You can't beat that. When you can impress someone live in person, you really can't beat that. But in terms of the numbers of people who can find you online, obviously, that's like the huge benefit of something like YouTube, which is a tool, right? It's, the tools will change, but you learn how to use the strengths of each one, and you can harness them for good and not evil, I hope. So yeah, write a book or have a YouTube channel or a social media presence to establish yourself as an authority, because people get used to seeing you in relation to that topic. So when they're having a conversation with someone, oh, how do I become a script supervisor? Oh yeah, I saw that girl on YouTube. Whether or not you run ads, by the way. So I started off with less than 250 people on a mailing list. And really, I did used to run ads for my comedy room. Anna will remember that I could sell out Comedy Bar quite easily by running like $10 ads on Facebook, because it was targeting a very small area. I was just targeting Toronto, and there were only 120 seats in the main room at Comedy Bar. So that's where I learned how to use low cost ads. But now I can still spend $10 on an ad, which is low, like a day, and fill even bigger rooms theoretically, right? Because I've got higher priced things to sell. I'm remembering the ticket prices of West End Girls. They range between $10 and $20. So yeah, it's all, that was the power of Facebook ads before the algorithm changed. Ads are not even the thing anymore. Like I still run ads, but such a small, that's where I think the other 15% of my business comes from boosting my YouTube content, boosting my Instagram content for like less, single digit dollars a day, and posting in Facebook groups. That's it. Because Facebook groups you can harness the power of Facebook through Facebook groups, because people are congregated by topic. So as long as you're not being an asshole, you can be in a group and talk about your course, as long as the group allows for it. And some groups let me pay to talk about my course, like to post sorry, I'm sweating, to post an ad that's not an ad. Like it's just like, hey, come watch my YouTube talk. What I'm doing today is I'm just talking to you, but it's like, we'll probably talk for an hour. Sometimes I stay on for longer if there's a lot of questions. That's how I meet my clients. Do you feel like I'm like forcing you to buy anything? Do you feel like I'm even, selling you? Maybe. I hope not, though, because I like just talking about this stuff, because it saved my life. So I like giving people lifelines, especially when they're my people. And by that, I mean artists and creatives. So you never have to buy a single thing from me. In fact, you could buy some sort of social media monetization course from hundreds of people like me, regular people who have 6-figure businesses, and some who have 7-figure businesses and 8-figure businesses. I was telling Liz, one of my coaches, when I met her, I had to meet I had to meet really nice people with 7 and 8 figure businesses before I understood that you could still retain your kindness and be a multimillionaire. I never thought that that was possible until I met some of the people that are my coaches now, because they're great humans. So I think of people like Molly Mahoney, and I think of who is a musical theater actor on Broadway, and started her social media based business. Absolutely wild notion, says Liz. Right? I mean, it was who knew? Who knew you could be nice and retain your integrity and most of your morality, all of your morality, and because in the end, when you start a business, you're there to serve people. And if you're not serving people, you're going nowhere. So even like, I don't know if you guys are fans of Gary Vee. I listen to him sometimes. I'm not like his biggest fans, but he makes sense. He's like, we are serving people. That is our whole if we're not going out of our way to help people, our business will not survive, right? I'm so interesting, and the information is wonderful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no. There's people who have been attending my talks since I first started doing this in 2020, have never bought a single thing from me, and they're my friends. Like, I consider them my friends. I feel like I know them so well, and I know that even if they don't study with me, they'll speak nicely about me, and they'll tell someone about me, probably, or not. And listen, there are people are like, what about when people sling tomatoes at you? They're everywhere. People like that are going to be everywhere. I learned that in stand up, right, Anna? There's always people who are going to like, oh my God, I used to get such evil eyes from male comics when I did West End Girls. I could barely do comedy outside my own room because there would be that hate for what I was doing. But of course, you have to not do it for them. You do it for the people who love what you're doing, whether it's the comics or the audience, right? So it's going to continue, that stuff. Thank goodness I learned that in stand-up, like, frankly, because I don't know if it would have prepared me as much for what can happen to you online. And if people haven't gone totally crazy on me, usually there's a breed of person in this world called an ad heckler, and there's Facebook ad hecklers who are the worst. In fact, you'll see hecklers in the comments under some of my YouTube. I did a video that gets a lot of views relatively for my comedy writing called Punching Up versus Punching Down. And I'm really proud of that video because I recorded it in like an hour in New York City. And I didn't write it. Often I'll write my talks and I'll read off a teleprompter. I just spoke, and it's one of my most articulate videos, and it gets a lot of views. I get so many hecklers on that. And the one was the other day. He said, well, my favorite comedians are so and so and so. What do you think about that, lefty? And I was like, one of his examples was Howard Stern. I'm like, I like Howard Stern. He doesn't punch down. He's so what? He's a libertarian. Like, that's not. My whole video was about how punching down is like the lowest thing you can do in comedy, probably, besides stealing jokes, right? So, like, that's terrible. I think that's horrifying. I think that's not comedy. And this is the thing. You can state your opinion. You could use that person instead of they could state my opinion. I don't even delete comments like that. I keep them. And I thanked him for upping the engagement on my video, because every time someone posts a comment, whether it's positive or negative, it's telling the algorithm to send more people to your video, which is what you want. It just helps your channel. So thank you, heckler. So yeah, I thank my online hecklers now, because they're actually helping my channel. I used to delete the ad hecklers. Now I don't even run ads on Facebook much anymore anyway, so that's not as much of a thing for me anymore. Michael's like, people punch down on you for not wanting to punch down. Yeah. And they think like lefty is an insult. Lefty? It was so funny how he wrote it. It made me laugh. Cruelty isn't comedy. Yeah, exactly. Like and I know people do think cruelty is comedy. It's like, whatever, they could start their channel. There's channels about everything. We get to state our opinion and we get to spread the love. So I like to be a channel that tries to spread the love, or at least the conversation. I like talking. Can you tell? I like talking. So, okay. Where was I? have to refer to my notes. It's been a day, guys. It's been a day. Sometimes I have it more together when I go online, and sometimes I just don't. Okay, so the more work you do early on in your social media, the less you have to do later. I'll take a minute to explain to you how a YouTube channel gets monetized. Most of you watching this probably already know. This is for the people who don't know, so don't come at me. So to get a monetized channel, which means to get a channel where YouTube itself is sending you checks every single month for running ads on your channel, you need to have 1,000 subscribers. I have almost 5,000 subscribers. And you need to, this is the harder part. You need to have 4,000 public watch hours in a year. So people need to be engaging with your content to the point where they're watching enough of it that you rack up 4,000 watch hours. I think we're almost at 750 watch hours on this channel in the past year. Believe it or not, it's such a harder metric to achieve. And then they've added and you have to post 3 videos in the last 90 days. No brainer for me, because if I don't have time to shoot one and edit it, I can go on live and there's your video. Boom, right? So oh no, you lost a job. Wow. You lost a job for being yourself. Aren't you glad you lost that job? You know what I mean? Like, who wants to work for people who like to punch down? One day they're going to punch down on you. That's crazy. Yeah. Listen, it did feel like dodging a bullet. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Amazing. See, I get to actually like engage with you guys and hear your stories. I never knew that, Liz. That's crazy pants. But obviously it was ultimately the better thing for your mental health. So to get that check from YouTube, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in a year and post 3 videos within 90 days. Or the other or of that is have a short channel, create a short that gets 10 million views. Good luck with that. Although I did, by the way, you're going to be like, why did you just post a UFO video today, Daniela? I did. If you look on my shorts feed on this channel, it's got nothing to do with my channel. But about a year ago, I was in Palm Springs and I was nearly abducted by aliens. And I'm like, now they're talking about it. Now it's a thing in the news where they've had their second hearing now about how aliens live among us and how there's all these UAPs, which I learned today was the new short form for UFOs. And I'm like, I got a UFO video on my phone. I posted it on my Instagram and on my YouTube because I am like a watch time whore now. Okay. So, yeah, first goal, 10 million views of a short. No, some people do it though. There are people actually who teach how to do that. And it's fascinating. You can hook people in those first 3, you have to hook people in those first 3 seconds because, you know, they're scrolling machines. You got to stop the scroll and you got to have a good story. So the 1,000 subscribers, I was at 1,200 subscribers in August. And then I started teaching this class, the social media monetization masterclass. And as I'm teaching it, because I teach Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube in there, right? And a bit of LinkedIn. I went, wait a minute. I'm not even teaching them what I know to be true about YouTube. Like I know it, I've been taught it by experts. I've been taught it by different experts. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even doing it on my own channel. So I started to optimize my channel. You'll notice my banner changed. You could like land on my channel and see exactly what it's about. A place for screenwriters and script supervisors, right? And then I changed all the thumbnails. Like my thumbnails were old and kind of not like attention grabbing. I changed all the titles of my videos. There's so many things you can do that I talk about in that program. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do them. I'm going to see if it helps my channel, because if it doesn't help my channel, like what am I even teaching this for? So I went from 1,200 subscribers in the middle of August. What is it now? November, August, September, October. Oh, in 3 months, I'm at 4,700 subscribers now. Thank you. And I was at like 300 and something watch hours. I'm at 750. Thank you. I need to go better than that, because if you do the math, like I need to at least 2x the amount of public watch time I'm getting. And so I've been experimenting, as one does in any kind of business. You experiment to see like what gets you more results. What gets me more results is going live. For me, everyone's going to have different things. For some people it's shorts. For some people it's short videos that really grab people, and it depends on what your subject is, how you structure your videos. I have an idea for a new format. if you can create a new format, I'm not going to tell you the idea. I'm going to do it. I'm going to like not tell anybody what it is, and I'm going to do it, assuming I have some time to shoot it, because it involves me going to different locations and shooting. And I'm going to see if that format sticks. If you create a format that's repeatable, you're going to start to go viral, right? That's one of the ways you can go viral, is to create a format. Tallulah says, love that script above and below the line. Hold on, I'm going to. All right. Where was I? Oh, my notes say ICQ. That was a long time ago. Yes. Yes. So, while it will be fantastic if I could get that metric, that last metric of watch hours to get monetized by YouTube, by getting that check every month, that's truly passive income. I'm 55. If I can do that within the next 5 years, and I'm going to do it within the next year, if the trajectory continues how it's going, I'm going to get monetized that way. I'm convinced within the next year. But even if it's in the next 5, then I'll be 60. Then that's a check. And you listen, the amounts vary. So the amounts vary. It'll depend on how many subscribers I have by then, their level of engagement. They look at like the watch time of your channel. There's all these metrics that they determine how much money you actually get, and also your niche. And because my niche is in film, it's one of the better paying niches. Entrepreneurship and film are two of the better paying niches. So I've Googled and searched YouTube videos for like, what can a person expect with an average size channel? So people have said between 350 and 1,000 a month is like, so it's not gonna, that part of monetization, if I achieve that, I'm just calling that free money. I'm still going to do the work of that I'm doing with my channel, because having more eyeballs on your business is, of course, going to be good for business. Right? I don't need to spend money running ads. Before, I used to spend between 1,000 and 3,000 a month on ads when I was running ads on Facebook, because that was 80% of my business, and it was worth it, right? But then once the Facebook algorithm, the whole way ads targeting changed for Facebook, it's a long story. I talk about it in my other video. Facebook ads just didn't work as well anymore, and you couldn't bank on them. I had to figure out another way, and I pivoted really quickly, because all I did was I stopped running ads and I started creating more YouTube videos. Okay. So, you guys are having a whole conversation in there between yourselves. Okay. By the way, feel free to ask me questions. I'll do live Q&A after. I just want to sort of get to my point here. Whether or not that day happens, and it's going to happen in sometime in the next 1 to 5 years, I'll get that extra. That's a cherry on top. And maybe YouTube will be gone by then and we'll be on to some other platform. But that's okay. I will have had the skills to understand how to monetize social media. I would just apply my knowledge to whatever the next social media is. I have been monetizing my channel since I started my channel. So I started with zero followers, as everyone does, 0 videos. I started with some ratty videos that are still up. You can go back in time. You can do that on anybody who's even like a huge YouTuber. Go and look at their earliest videos. They're nothing, meaning like there's barely any lighting. There's, it's not about that. It's about, can you engage your audience? Are you talking about something? You can't engage the whole world. Listen, I know Mr. Beast apparently does. He's like the richest YouTuber, but you can't aim to engage the whole world. All you need to find are your people. And the way you find your people is by being yourself online, right? So Michael, I really want you to you have a storytelling channel. Great. I really want you to lean in and make it well known enough that you're going to get a whole posse of people asking you to come and play their room, even if it's in another country. I this week got someone from Bulgaria who's interviewing me about script supervision. I found my students in Serbia. I have students, I have students in all over the world, but I have a whole gaggle of people in Serbia who found me on YouTube. And I was going to Italy. I was working in Italy, and I thought, I'll go to Zagreb and see one of my students who's in Slovenia. And one of my friends, my best friend is Croatian. So I went to Zagreb, and 6 or 7 of my Serbian students got on a bus for 5 hours and met me in Croatia. Plus, I met all the Croatian script supervisors. Plus, my student from Greece flew out, and my other student from Slovenia drove down. It was a party. No, we actually had a life-changing meeting. And I say that because it was the first time in history that all those countries kind of sat down together and talked about wages and conditions for script supervisors. Like, we felt like we were changing the world because we're hoping that the working conditions for the Serbians starts to become more equal to Croatia, and that Croatia becomes more equal to Italy, and that Italy becomes more equal to the UK, who have I would think, I say, and I know that the UK people basically have the best working conditions, and the Americans in the New York local have the highest pay, but not the best working conditions. So yeah, just with the ability to connect like that on an internet, you do start to change the world in whatever way that is, in whatever thing you do or teach. You don't have to be a course creator. You can raise awareness about something. There's a really famous guy who teaches people. He sells courses on public speaking and doing TEDx talks, and he built a channel on water. What's the word, when he teaches people how to build wells and sustain themselves with water in areas that don't have clean water. I think he's a water sustainability expert, and he did completely not for profit work and became a multimillionaire off that because he was able to raise so much money and help so many people all over the world that people would pay him between $10,000 and $50,000 to go and speak. They'd fly him out to, and so he's got a channel about that, but he teaches that, and people would find him on social media, right? So there's so many ways you can monetize just even your own political causes, but certainly your art. A month ago, one of my students sent me this video of this artist, this comedian in Montreal. I never heard of her before. She sings dirty songs with her guitar, and she's a single mother. And she had a song about how she started singing dirty songs on YouTube in 2012, and now her kid goes to private school. She's monetized by YouTube that way. She's not even a course creator, right? So yeah, YouTube can be your retirement plan. It can be the thing that sends your kid to private school. It can be the thing that lets you keep on singing dirty songs for pay. Annalie, who would have thunk social media became real-time social engagement that changes the way the world works? There is hope for human. Yes, and of course you can use it for good or evil, but like, let's use it for good, obviously, right? I mean, yeah, that's why everybody left in droves. The rest of the people who were still on X, the last mass exodus was like 2 days ago. I was just reading about that. By the way, trivia question. What is the most searched word on Google? I had to look it up today. It is YouTube. YouTube is the most searched word on Google in 2024. Odd. You'd think they'd go straight to Google, though. I mean, straight to YouTube. But no, they search. I guess people are trying to figure out how to make money with YouTube. And there's not one way. There's so many ways. So why. So this is a talk about the why and the how of how I make money, how I monetize my YouTube channel, and why it's going to be my retirement plan. The reason, obviously, it's my retirement plan, it has quickly established me as an authority. I want to say before 2020, the only people who knew my name were in Toronto, or they were filmmakers from LA who had shot with me in Toronto. Once 2020 came about, because I wouldn't stop talking about script supervision and comedy writing on my channel, suddenly a lot of people knew me in a lot of places, to the point where I was teaching at the Pacific Screenwriting Program in Vancouver in the year 2022. And I hadn't been to Vancouver in, I want to say, 10 years, because my husband lived there and it was a traumatic experience. So I really avoided Vancouver. So there I was walking down the street and I hear, Sione! And I turn around and I don't know these people. There's two people. They're like, and I was like, who are you? And then they were like, YouTube. So they knew me from YouTube. And I went, screenwriting or script supervision? And they went, screenwriting. So I was like, and it happened again. And it happened No joke. It happened in Rome. I was walking through Termini Station because I lived about, where they were putting us up was the Soho House, which is about a 12-minute walk from Termini Station. I get home and I get this message on Instagram going, "Were you just in Termini Station? What are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, I just landed. Who's this?" And she's like, "I follow you on YouTube and Instagram, and I saw your glasses and I knew that was you." And I was like, so it will make you Canadian famous. So yeah, no, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. And we're talking about times when I had less than 1,000 followers. Okay. This is before I even hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it's a very bizarre thing. It's a very bizarre thing. And when you think about it, I'm an actor member. No one knows me as an actress. They really know me from YouTube. And another terrible fact, I was talking to Liz about this. I was in acting class in New York. I want to say it was a year and a half ago. And one of the actresses was up for a role in Toronto. It was going to be her first guest starring role in a mini series for young people. Like she was in her early 20s. And she said, "I got a call back. I got a call back." She said, "It's down to me and one other person." And I said, "Oh, are you excited?" She goes, "I'm a little nervous. They asked me my follower count and I only have 40,000. I said, "They asked you your follower count?" And she said, "Yeah, that's how we get cast." And so, and she only had 40,000. I'm like, "How many do they expect you to have?" And then when we were shooting A Simple Favor 2 this summer, I noticed, because now I start noticing these things, that Blake Lively had 45 million followers and that Anna Kendrick had 25 million followers. Um, so these things actually somehow matter to Hollywood. So by the time I start acting again, I'm actually going to have an okay kind of a follower count. And listen, even if I never went back to acting, the skills have served me well in being able to just go on live and yammer at you. And I hope I'm not just yammering at you. I hope I'm inspiring you to think through, like, what can you do that you'll be able to monetize, and you'll be able to not have to undergo the grind. I make a lot of use of co-working spaces. So I'm a big WeWork person. There's someone, I've been in the media for a number of reasons. I've been in the media something like 50 times, but last year I was in the media because of my love of WeWork. And I famously ended up sleeping in a WeWork in Santa Monica. People are like, "Don't tell anyone that." They wrote a whole article about that. It's a long story. It was tied to that UFO video that I posted, by the way. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. Why did I tell you that story though? About yeah, you just get. I can't remember why this happened. Sorry. Like I said, it's been a day. Okay. So YouTube still manages to stay relevant. Why? And it's because it is a search engine, and it's a search engine of video. So it is not going to be so quickly replaced by ChatGPT the way that Google is. It's going to live on a lot longer. So I feel pretty confident and comfortable investing so much time into my YouTube content. By the way, I still own it. Like, I can still take it down and repurpose it. And repurposing your content is a way to not make yourself crazy. Like, you'll see the same videos or snippets of the same videos on my Instagram. You'll also see stuff on my Instagram that you'll not see here, because Instagram is a different medium and it's meant to be used differently. In that little mini course I'm teaching, I call it a mini course because it's $97. It's not like my writing courses can be between $4.97 and $9.97. Like, they're more of an investment, but like my little $97 social media masterclass is talks about, what you need to do to thrive on and things change. So what the current things are with YouTube. I wish I knew TikTok. I don't. It's funny, we do have people who like, the last time I taught the class, which was in August, we had a TikTok expert. She had something like 200,000. I know that's not a lot on TikTok because it's different numbers there, but she was able to to teach people, because we do the actual training is pre-recorded, but then we do live coaching every week, so I can get into like everyone's idea jam about their businesses, as opposed to what I do in my writing programs, where we idea jam your concepts, right? And it's like we yes and in my writer. So this is more of a yes anding of your business ideas. And this student Cassandra, she could just always go, and this is what we would do on TikTok, which is great. So one day I got to learn TikTok, but this is the thing. TikTok is about to be outlawed potentially in Canada and in the US. So if that happens, all those people who invested so much in TikTok, they'll still have their videos though. Like, it's not like your videos, it's not like they're owned by them. I mean, on some level they're owned by the media that they're housed in, but you still also own them. So you can repurpose them, reuse them, and take them to your new channel if you want to. But I'm pretty confident that YouTube has a much longer shelf life. There was like a video that they were punking us. I woke up and it said Elon Musk has bought YouTube, and I was like, no, the man who ruined Twitter cannot ruin YouTube. Do not ruin YouTube. But then it turned out to be a hoax. I go immediately now to Snopes and go, did Elon Musk buy YouTube? They said no. Because why would they? This is worth a lot more money than he paid for YouTube. And I'm sure he could probably come up with the money, to buy YouTube, but it's not like they're going to sell it to him. It's too much of an asset, to the point where there was like they released figures that scared our industry, the film and television production industry, because 10% of people consumed media on YouTube. So they were like, do you watch HBO? Do you watch, Disney Plus, 10% of the market is on YouTube. So about 10 years ago, YouTube was had its own sort of TV channel. So they were actually producing shows with IATSE that were for the YouTube network. And they stopped that before COVID, but they're starting it up again because now they've got so much audience. So I think it's here for a while. Okay. And I did want to say that because I am actively also trying to work towards that watch time, if you don't know, and I know Tallulah knows because she's already eligible for it, I'm having a watch time giveaway contest. I was like, I like to think outside the box. I like to try things. And one of the things I'm trying is to try and encourage people to actually watch my videos and post and engage with them by posting a comment. So somewhere on my channel, I used to have it as my channel trailer, so that if you hit my page, it would say, hey, join my watch time contest. But it kind of annoyed me. And I'm like, how is it annoying my audience? So it's just a video that you can find, and I'll boost it in the algorithm so other people can find it. And I'll tell my email list, which I think all of you are on. But what this contest is, I'll tell you, Annalie, don't worry. I'm going to tell you how one can join my masterclass. Is very easy. In fact, there's a link tree in my bio. Here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook, there's a link tree in my bio. And if you click on that link, there's clickable links. You'll see my script supervision masterclasses are on sale for Black Friday. And right underneath them, it says social media monetization course. Just click on that. It'll take you to the page. You can read all about it. You can see the dates. We start next Tuesday. I'm going to launch the content, I think, on Friday. So you guys can start to train. And then we do our coaching sessions every Tuesday until December 17th. Then we take a break and come back on January 7th. So I can give you guys coaching. It's a 1.5 hours on a Tuesday afternoon. If you can't make it live, you can send me questions in advance and you can watch the recordings. And we have a Facebook group where we interact. Okay, I was going to say that at the end, but there's so much to say. My watch time giveaway contest is crazy because I have some courses, as you guys know, that cost $1,000 US, that cost $1,300 US, and most of them cost around $500 US. The watch time giveaway contest says that whenever I hit 1,000 watch hours, so like I said, I'm at 750. So I think around Christmas, we're going to have our first draw. If you enter the contest, and you'll see on that link tree, and having a link tree is another thing I teach you guys. It's gold, right? On that link tree, you'll see how to enter my giveaway, my watch time giveaway contest. You've got to register because YouTube doesn't give us your email address, and I need that to be able to contact you if you win. So register with your email address and the name of your channel. And then you can leave up to 4 comments, 1 comment under a video, up to 4 videos, up to 4 comments. You can leave more, by the way, but I'm going to accept up to 4 entries in the contest. Tallulah's hit them all. Congratulations. There's a few people. There's literally only 5 people who have done the steps to actually enter the contest. So if I don't get the word out, you have a 1 in 5 chance of winning any course you want to, Tallulah. 1 in 5 chance. I hope that I could get at least 20 people entered in that contest. But theoretically, you could win a course of mine. And I'm assuming you'll want to do a course of mine of some kind, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have even entered the contest to begin with. And you can see what I'm also doing there. Obviously, by collecting your email address, it allows me to contact you, but then it also allows me to email you and tell you about other promotions. So you've probably since got my email about my Black Friday deals and all of that stuff. And I try not to spam people because I don't want to lose you guys off my list. But whatever you do, you want to, Michael, why did you go, why did you, 1 in 5? Oh yeah, Michael, definitely enter. I mean, if there's any course you want to take, I would think, Michael, you should take my TV comedy writing. You'd be hilarious. Wouldn't you want to write a pilot? You were always good in screenwriting in school, and you're very funny on stage. Yeah, I know, 1 in 5. That's crazy. If more people enter, it'll be like 1 in 10, 1 in 20. But by the way, like, something like 30 people registered, but only 5 people did the work to actually fulfill the requirements of the contest. So once I hit that 1,000 public watch hours, I'm going to go live on my channel. I'm going to put the names of everyone who's eligible in a hat, and you guys are going to see me draw the name, and I'll announce it, and I'll email them, and it's going to be so exciting. I love doing live draws. You'll see me do that on Facebook too. But this is my way of trying to stimulate engagement with my channel. It's not working as much as one thing I did recently is you'll see I posted a video called How Script Supervisors Visualize the Edit. That video is what I call the keys to the kingdom. That is information that people should be paying for. And I have a lot of videos like that, where not on my YouTube channel, but where like people can attend them if they give me their email address, and then we go on a private Zoom. I have a lot of videos like that I don't post publicly because they are the keys to the kingdom. And I give it to people who are not in my classes for a limited time, so they can experience it and take the training, not have to buy the course. But then a number of the people that come do buy my course, right? Because basically they're auditioning me as their teacher. That's what they're doing, and that's fair. I would want to audition my teacher too. So but sometimes I'll go a little crazy and post a video on here that is a keys to the kingdom video, which I just did with Visualize the Edit, and I expect that it hasn't led to course sales yet, but it has led to being one of the most watched videos on my channel ever. It's only been up for 3 days, and it's got 1,200 views, maybe 1,300 by now. And the watch time is good. It's like 5 minutes. So average watch time is a metric that YouTube algorithm is very, very aware of. So it's a 1 hour video, and 5 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but that's high engagement. You want to hit more than 4 minutes of engagement, because when they run ads, it's about every 4 minutes. So they want to know that you can sustain people's attention for longer than 4 minutes. So if it's a short, longer than 70% of the short, so I'm always looking at those metrics. I'm a little bit nutty about analyzing the progress. So in my social media monetization masterclass, I tell you about the strengths and weaknesses of Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, how to monetize those, ways that have worked in the past, ways that are working now. Sometimes things come up that are super new, that I can add to the conversation. It happened last time, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was, I know what it was. They just sort of released vertical lives on YouTube earlier this year. So like in April. And I didn't even hear about vertical lives. And they were saying, I did some research for teaching that class, and it said, if you do vertical lives, and that means vertically framed, like this direction rather than this direction, and go live that way, that the algorithm would push people to you. And it did. It got a little scary, actually. You'll see a video called, and I said, okay, let me make up a topic to go live vertical, because I want YouTube to push views at me, and let me think of a screenwriting topic. So I did, what makes an idea a feature film versus a TV series. I did a live talk by that, but I got so many like brutal hecklers, because that's that vertical live vibe. It's like gamers and people who are bored, and they're like, what can I do? Like, and they want the live to throw stuff in your face. Like, it is really, I was like, thank God I've experienced like hecklers in a comedy room, because I could kind of handle it, but I was thrown off by the amount of hecklers and how like they were so cruel. They made me laugh. Like, I don't usually laugh at cruel humor, but it was funny. Like, they were like, tell us a joke, like, I'm not here to be, I'm not a comic right now. I'm talking about screenwriting. It was like so crazy. So you'll watch that and you'll see me get discombobulated. I did not take that live down, but that live did its job. I got a lot of eyeballs, a lot of unwanted eyeballs. Eyeballs. You'll see that I hardly ever do vertical lives for that reason. But I learned another trick. So this software that I'm using right now is called StreamYard. It's amazing for so many reasons. But you can pretend to be live, and it'll say live with a streaming software like this. So on Halloween, I did a reprise of a live that I did on Instagram last year called Tales from the Script, about script supervising horror movies. And I posted it as a live, and people thought it was live because it said live in the corner. And it wasn't. I was on set working. I was doing a daily on Twisted Metal. So I was on set working while that video was playing and getting me, views. Anyways, there's so many tricks. Normally I would say don't tell people you're live and you're not live, but that was like a silly Halloween video. And I knew that vertical lives is, you enjoyed Tales from the Script. I know, me too. I had so much fun doing that one. Oh my God, my cell phone died. Okay, so I'm going to look at the time up there. Oh my God, I've been talking for an hour and 6 minutes, you guys. Okay, let me be more succinct and make sure I didn't leave anything out. Yeah, so you can do a search right now and find 7 to 10 different ways of making money online. I do cover all those things on Coffee Break MBA, which is so. For those who don't know, I have a yearly subscription kind of program that is $197 a year until January 4th. January 4th, the price goes up to $297 a year. It's being revamped because I think it's the only one of my programs that failed. But what I mean by that is people were so happy to meet each other in that program that it became a social club and not a place where people were starting businesses. And I know people like that about Coffee Break, but it bugs me because I'm a coach at heart and I want to change people's lives, and I want people to do at least enough work that their life will change, right? Or that they'll get the goal that they want to hit. There's different goals people want to hit in Coffee Break, but it became like a love fest, really. And I love everybody in Coffee Break, but I said to them, I had a meeting with them last week and I said, it's going to be different next year. And I've been doing social media research. Liz was there, where I've been asking people like what they would need out of a course like Coffee Break. So Coffee Break MBA, I'm going to do a separate live about that, but just heads up, the price goes up January 4th. I'm going to be going live every single week in Coffee Break and reteaching everything I teach in the program, which is pre-recorded. I'm going to do it live and do it in the order because I stupidly made Coffee Break MBA a choose your own adventure, because there are 10 different ways to make money, and people were online and people were coming into the program with different skill sets. Some were filmmakers, some were editors, some were screenwriters, some were painters, some were, some were writer, like, not screenwriters, like novelists, actors, so many actors that it just became a love fest is what I want to say. We supported each other. It was good networking, but it wasn't, not no one. There were a few people who started businesses and I was happy, but it wasn't enough to make me go, okay, but I'm doing coaching every 2 weeks and people just want to talk about life rather than be coached, which is great. So I'm going to start a free group on Facebook called the Coffee Break Social Club. And it is really going to be a free group where artists like us who want to start online businesses can hang out and socialize. I'll even go live once a month and talk to people in there. And I'll probably bring in guests and do, things that are adjacent to Coffee Break MBA. But Coffee Break MBA is going to be a doing program where we start a business. And I'm only going to open it every 3 months because I'll go through the cycle of everything I teach in Coffee Break in 3 months. But then people could stay on. It's a yearly subscription, but they stay on for the coaching because I'm not only teaching, I'm also coaching. So as your business grows, I'm doing small group coaching. You can do one-on-one coaching with me at any time. You don't have to pay for my programs to do that. But it's right now it's $75 US an hour, and on January 4th it goes up to $100 US an hour as my time shrinks and shrinks. But yeah, it is. There's so many ways to train with me. But I loved Coffee Break as a concept. It's just it wasn't working, so it is being revamped. The coffee breakers get this program for free. When I say this program, the social media monetization masterclass, they get this for free. With the social media monetization masterclass, if you pay the $97, you don't have to join Coffee Break. You get this class and you have lifetime access to the recordings, and then you have the 5 weeks of coaching with me. But there's a free course, there's a bonus that comes with it that I'm so proud of. It's a 1-hour mini course I taught called Organic YouTube Sales Engine, and it goes through my first $30,000 month. Yes, I had a $30,000 month, and I've had a few now, but my first one was December 2022. And it was a month that started with me bombing. Like I made in the first 2 weeks of December that year, I made $3,000. Course creators, December's our highest grossing month. And I was like, what? I was like in shock. I'm like, what is going on? And I knew that I was like, that's when I didn't raise the price of my script supervision. That's when people were still paying they were either paying $497 or $697 for my Director Whisper program back then. I was still like way undercharging for it. And that was also part of the problem. And I'm like, if I can't even sell it at this price, how am I going to sell it at $1297? By the way, more people bought once it hit $1297. It's weird. Like people's psychologies are weird. I think when I raise the price of Coffee Break to $297, it'll attract people who will take it more seriously. You know what I mean? Yes, Liz. Sorry, I don't mean to hold. I don't mean to hold you hostage. You can watch the recording. I'll wrap up in the next 10 minutes. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So that little bonus organic YouTube sales engine talks about exactly what happened to get me from 3,000 to 30,000, because I made the rest of that money in the last 2 weeks of December. And it wasn't just because it was the last 2 weeks of December. It's because I took my last $500, and yes, I was down to my last $500, and I got on a plane to Miami and went to a mastermind with Sam Cart, which is one of the companies I affiliate market for. And that's where I met all these lovely 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs who were artists. And they inspired the hell out of me. And we talked about sales, and we talked about what people need from us and how we can serve them better. And I came back and I did everything. I take you through in that 1-hour class, step by step, in layman's terms, what I did to make 30,000 in that month off of YouTube and without ads. So you're welcome. No, I'm so proud of that course. It's literally an hour. It's an hour. And the material in the $97 course, like in the social media monetization class, it's about 8 hours of content. All right. No hostages. Just before I sign out, I'll stay on if anyone has questions. Otherwise, I hope to see some. I know I'm going to see Michael and maybe Annalise, or like, I hope to see you guys in social media monetization masterclass next week. I know I have to think of a better name. I just haven't yet. There's 100 people you could study this with, honestly. But not all of them cater to artists. That's what makes me a little different. And not all of them are me. Yes, Michael will be there. Awesome. That's going to be fun. I really want Michael to do something with his storytelling channel. Michael, you'll see there's a video of Michael doing storytelling on my page that he kindly sent me, and he kindly mentioned my name. I miss storytelling so much. And I said, you should do a YouTube channel. He's like, I have one. And I went, great. And I went to subscribe, and I was the 9th subscriber. I said, Michael, there's so many people who are into storytelling. By the way, I had a coffee breaker named Michael Kerr. That is a big storyteller in Baja and Los Angeles. He's a surfer dude, and he's a director. He directs television. He's sold a pilot. Like, he's super cool dude. In fact, if you ever join us in Coffee Break MBA, one of the bonuses, I did a thing called the Creative Influence, a virtual summit. We did a summit with artists speaking to CEOs of corporations. That was the idea. And Michael Kerr was this kind of surfer dude talking about dream work, because he teaches dream work, and he talks about it in his storytelling as well. Big storyteller guy. But he sort of, I don't know, I should catch up with Michael. What's Michael doing? But there's people like that in Coffee Break. They're just like doing these phenomenal things. And they spill over into, because some of the coffee breakers are in class with us, like our friend Mark Hassan. He's in the social media class too. He's monetizing his nerdly hobby of antique tech. I mean, old tech, like Betacam cameras from the 70s and 80s and 90s and stuff like that. So yeah, I was always good at story. Yeah, Michael is amazing. I should just give you his speech at our summit. It was so good. And my friend Paul Hopkins, my co-writer Paul Hopkins, we wrote a screenplay together. We're very old friends, like 30-year, kind of almost as old friends as we are, Michael. Paul Hopkins did a great talk in that summit about free falling as an actor, just free falling, to inspire CEOs to do the same. Yes, I will. I'll add it to your course dashboard, Michael, because you're you. All right, everybody. Any questions? No questions? You can watch this. People in the replay, you can send me questions. I can't remember. I never post my email, but you're always welcome to email me at mondocinema@gmail.com. We'll see you there next week. The name is clear, says it all. I am a storyteller. Yay. That's why I'm in the industry. I will check out Michael John. Thanks for all you do. Oh, thank you, Annalie. I'm so sorry that I don't remember your name. Did you train with me if you trained with me at Rain Dance or the DGC, or if you trained with me at somewhere that wasn't directly with me, they didn't give me the student list. But if you trained directly with me and I still am not remembering your name, that's because I usually remember everybody's name. But thank you. Thanks, Anna. Anna, you were at my original, I think you were at my original talk I did, the one that like Rob Trick and everybody was at, right? Like in August 2020. I feel like see you on stage soon. Do it. I do miss it. I do miss being on stage. Well, thanks everyone. Oh, Rain Dance. Oh, you got 100. They were giving you guys marks. I don't give people marks, but I give them feedback on their work. Oh, that's so funny. You got 100%. Oh, I know what you mean. And in the quiz. Oh, you know what? I'll remember your face then, because hardly anybody gets 100% in the quiz. Have a lovely evening. I'm gonna get offline and go talk to my mom. She's had a worse day than I had, so I'm gonna go talk to her. Thank you for being here. Sorry I went so long. Oh my God. Sorry, not sorry. Thanks. Bye.